Hello, my sweet friend. I am Cristina Arevalo, cake business, productivity coach, and podcaster. I help cake makers like you manage your business productively and with ease, taking control of your time and workflow to avoid stress and burnt out. I offer personalized strategies and supportive community to help you stay organized, productive, and in charge of your success. Your cake business should bring you joy, not stress. I'm here to help you build an efficient, successful, and sustainable business without feeling overwhelmed and burned out. With the right planning, strategies, and mindset, you can reach your goals, stay organized, and enjoy the journey. Let's make your cake business work for you, not the other way around. Hi there. If you like this podcast and enjoy this episode, there's only one thing I ask from you. Please follow this podcast, download this episode, and leave me a started review in any of your favorite podcast platforms where you're listening to this show now. This way, the algorithm will show the podcast to more cake artists who will benefit from, and you'll be helping me grow this show. And don't forget to share it on social media and tag me, and I'll gladly follow you back. I would love to hear what you have to say. Leave me a comment on Spotify or answer any of the questions and polls on the episode. Let me invite you to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as the Art Cake Coach, or follow the links on the show notes to find out more ways to stay connected. Visit www.theartcakecoach.com for more. Well, hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here, super happy to have you all back. This is the first podcast of the month of December, the first podcast episode. Oh my God, where did the year go? It's like, what happened? We're already in the first week of December. 4 more weeks, almost 4 more weeks to go before the end of the year, and we're through with 2025 and 2026 is coming. It's been quite a year. It's been quite a year this time, but I'm not going to go into the year review just yet. But as we approach the end of the year and as we approach the end of this management year 2025, I have to say that I think it's time to you know take a look at what has happened, and especially to our goals. As you know, I do a series of episodes at the beginning of the year about goal setting. We go back and check on the goal setting around the June, July, in the middle of the year, and it is another of those times when we go back, and before we set goals for 2026, we go back and check at what happened in 2025. So bear with me, stay with me, because in today's episode, I'm going to share with you a little bit more today. I'm going to be honest in some of the things that I learned this year about goal setting. I'm going to be honest about how we're going to phase our goals for 2026, and the truth behind setting goals. So stay with me, don't go anywhere, because this episode is about to start. Well, one thing for sure, I can say that I have stick to my goals, and I think it's going to um, it's going to be a check mark for me, is that I'm making these podcast episodes a little bit shorter. Why? Because I'm really working on the classes on the Art Cake Coach Club. If you don't know what the Art Cake Coach Club is, my subscription channel, I decided to call it the Art Cake Coach Club. When you find classes, audio classes on all the topics that I talk about here on the podcast, and of course the upcoming classes next year or next month, January 2026, are going to be about goal setting. And of course, I had to do this here as well because it's the end of the year and we have to go back and check it out. So that's one check mark for my goals this year. I did make the episodes here shorter. I committed to my classes on the Art Cake Club, and I launched another podcast. If you don't know, is called No Icing Cake Talk Unfiltered. Is a monthly podcast, and is peeling off the sugar paste of the cake and showing how our cake industry and the reality behind all of the things that happen in our cake industry, how it really is. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about goal setting. Not setting the goals because that's going to be for January. Today is going to be more about reviewing what happened this year. We cannot start something anew. We cannot start setting new goals and new milestones for 2026. It's like starting anything. We cannot move from point A to point B without knowing where we're standing. We cannot start a diet without knowing how much we weigh. We cannot start setting new goals and milestones without knowing if what we did this year worked and didn't work. I know we do that in the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, and of course now at the end of the year. But I want to face things a little bit different today. I'm going to face them on, first of all, why they didn't work. Second, it's part of my path and the goal that it didn't work because actually it led me to a different path that needed to happen. And third, one thing that I really learned this year is just to let go of a lot of things. So this is what the episode today is going to base off. Most of the questions that I get when I start working on goal setting with cake artists, or when I'm even start talking about goal setting with cake artists in the different groups in Cake Friends Stay Creative, you mention it, is do I really need to set goals? Why can't I just live my life winging it? Why can't I just live my life, going with the flow and see what happens? Well, you could, and I have to say, sometimes is a blessing because you just live in the moment. You have no expectations, and yes, you just go with the flow and see what happens. And the thing is that when the year started, I used to think that this was wrong. And I have to be honest, I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's another way. After this year passed, I don't know if it's the wisdom of being 50 and having more white hairs, gray hairs in my head, or it is actually understanding that it's just another way of living life. So, my sweet friends, I'm going to start this review, this go back and checking on our goals with a gift for you. Just giving you the option of not setting goals. Simple as that. It's okay not to do it as long as it's okay with you and you take full responsibility for the outcome of it. I prefer to be prepared. I prefer to have a plan. I realize that even though it's okay to let go of things, I do not function without a plan. So that is actually the secret of setting goals, is to have a plan. But if you're okay with not having the plan, actually what I found out during this year, if I have to go back and check it and check up what we did, what I did, is that sometimes it's okay not to have a plan. The positive part, again, like I said, you have no expectations and you live in the now and you go with the flow. Perfect. Now, if things doesn't work in the end and if you feel stuck, don't blame me. You decided to live with the flow and to go with the flow and to live the moment. I myself, I like to have a plan. So that's why I set goals at the beginning of the year. And that's why I like to review it now and then, just to see if things are working out for me. Most of the people that I work with, again, and that I talk about goals, says I have no time for goals. Okay, not your priority. I don't think it's that crucial for my business. Okay, you like to go with the flow. Um, I don't think I need a direction. I just need more skills. Okay, it's a way to see life. My case, and again, I'm just going to talk about what works for me because this is my confession time with you guys. Just going back to everything that worked and didn't work on 2025 for me. For me, I need to have a plan. I need to have a goal. I need to have something to look for. I need the direction because otherwise it feels that it feels like an eternal treadmill. like this rat wheel where we're just going and going and going. Days go by, the sun comes up, the sun goes down. I keep doing the same thing. uh, Here and there I can have, a highlight, but I'm not getting anywhere and I'm not achieving anything. So that is why setting goals for me is crucial. But again, that's my choice. You can have a choice. That's the thing. I'm giving you today the permission, if I may, to say that you have a choice. You have a choice not to do it. But if you want to do it, hear me out. Hear me out, because it's good to have something to aim for. What does a business life of not setting goals look like? Like I mentioned, looks like things are going. Are they moving forward? Are you achieving things? They're just going. When, in the other hand, when you have a business life, and I'm not talking about your personal life, even though we have talked about um, having a holistic view of goals and including your personal life in it, because we are part of our business is part of us, right? Even though you are not your business, remember that. Your business is you, but you're not your business. Remember that. That's a big major thing that I got to see this year. So even though that everything is connected, of course, and I like to take a holistic view, like a little bit of everything when I set my goals, from my personal life, my health, um, my personal goals, and my business goals. I like to set them all together. What does a life without setting goals, or a life, no, a business life? Because again, we're going to be talking about our cake business. What does a cake business life looks without setting any goals? Well, it's just a business. If you look at it as a business, it's just honestly, for me, it will be a job, not a business, right? Because you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Um, you add some tweaks and adjust some things on the way. Until one day you say, well, you know what, I think it's enough, I'm not going to do it anymore, or you retire, or you decide to do something different. I don't know. That's what a business life, if you see it as a business, looks like without a goal, or without goals, setting goals. Uh, for me, as I mentioned before, my business, what I do, I think of the next thing, but I also think of the long way, big picture, right? I do ask, even though I don't like it, I do ask myself, where do I see myself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where do I see my business 5 years from now? Where do I see my business next year? As simple as that. And that keeps me grounded. That gives me motivation, and that keeps me on track. So when things happen that are thrown on your way, because like our life or cake business get, things in the middle, life happens, opportunities maybe, or problems come along the way. And when you don't have that path trace in front of you, I mean, you don't feel grounded. You don't feel that you have anything to hold on to. That's what goals in my cake business, or in this case, in my coaching business, means to me. Because it means so much to me, I want to share it. That's why I want to share it with you. And that's why every year we talk so much about goals. Now, most of the things that my coachees and the people that I work with in different groups talk about is, we set all these goals in the beginning of the year. We talk about so many things. We go through all the SMART approach, the HAM approach. You do, if you have been with me for the long time, you here on the podcast, I have talked about the approach. I have done classes, free challenges, free webinars, you name it, along these last 3 years on goal setting. But somehow the goals keep not happening. Why did that not? Why do the goals? Sorry, why the goals, or the goals that I set, don't come to pass? Don't happen? Don't. Why don't I achieve them? Well, many things could happen, and that's what I'm doing right now at this point of the year. I go back and I check why things didn't happen. And I found somehow a pattern of why things didn't happen. First, I have to say, I didn't prioritize them. Simple as that. I didn't give them the importance that I should have at the beginning or that I meant to have at the beginning. So, lack of prioritization. That would be one. Second, lack of consistency. I usually start the year with, a lot of energy, like, yes, we're going to do it. It's like starting the diet on Monday. You're going to do it. But then as the year goes by and as life throw things at you, kind of lose momentum. So, lack of consistency. Another reason why my goals don't happen. Um, Third, sometimes those things that are thrown your way, and when life happens, you realize that the goal was not as relevant as you thought. That could be another thing. And that happened to me as well. And I have to say, this year being the year that I turned 50 and all of the things that I mentioned before, um, had a different, I don't know, had a different feeling. The way I see things and the way I view things, the way I face things is different. So, as I have changed, my view of my business and the importance of the things in my business also have changed. So, I realized that some of the things that were thrown in front of me actually meant more and were a priority or had a priority even higher than my goals. So that's one other thing why my goals didn't happen. Um, what else? I think it's pretty much it. Is lack of priority or commitment, you could call it, lack of consistency, and realizing that it wasn't as relevant as I thought. But if we look for a common denominator in the three cases, the common denominator is me. That's all. So when things don't go the way you thought they were going to go, just take a deeper look at yourself and ask yourself those three questions. Was I consistent enough? If I was not, why? Because maybe that's your answer. Um, did I give it the importance that I should have given it or that I thought I was going to give it? And was it that relevant at the end? Maybe it wasn't. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why goals didn't work. But of course, we have to think of why goals actually work. And is the total opposite? Is because, or is the same, but in the opposite way. Is because I was consistent to the point that I didn't even think that I was doing it. It just became a habit. Um, Doing the podcast became a habit. Taking care of my groups online became a habit. Creating content became a habit. So, as a habit, it started as a plan. It started as an idea that I had to put into practice, that I have to plan on my agenda and on my calendars, that I had to sit down and work. But once it got into motion, without even thinking about it, it became a habit. So when actions become habit, they become consistent. And when they become consistent, they have results. Simple as that. They become a priority. Funny enough, I realized this. It's not about giving the priority, it's about becoming a priority. It just is. I'm not giving the priority to anything. That just is. And it's because it feels natural. It feels like this is what should be happening. It's natural to my business. It doesn't have any friction. It it's not it's not a problem. It doesn't have problems in it. When things start getting hard and too many problems, that's when I start wondering. It's like, wait a second, what is happening? What is life telling me? Not not to get all wooey wooey or witchy, but just listen to read between the lines. What is happening that this part that I thought it was going to work on my business is not working? Um, Another thing that worked for me that made things happen was to celebrate my wins. And what I mean to celebrate my wins, because I have shared this before with you guys, is not about just buying myself a dinner because or going out for coffee or going out for a new pair of shoes because something happened. It's about owning my wins. It's about saying, I did this and I'm good at this and I deserve this and I'm freaking smart. I mean, that's a win for me. Just realizing that was a win for me. When I owned it, things felt natural again. And when they feel natural, they feel consistent and they happen. Um, that's why I insist on celebrating the wins. And that's why I insist so much. And I talk a little bit about that last episode about being thankful, being grateful before even setting your goals. Because again, when you start from the mind of um, adding more good things into your life instead of lacking and having to fulfill an empty space, it's so different. It's so different. And the results show how different they are. Don't go anywhere because in the next part, we're going to go through the methods that we have used to talk or to check on our goals and how did they work this year. The new issue of Delicious Magazine is out. Delicious Magazine, a must have international cake, cookie, and sugared art magazine, both digital and prints. This monthly magazine is filled with interviews, tutorials, competitions, and giveaways, business information, cake collaborations, the latest trends, and information on your favorite sugar art decorating products. Delicious Magazine also features your cakes every month in our Let's Get Social feature. Go to the link in the description of this episode to purchase your monthly copy, or you can save up to 45% when you sign up for an annual subscription. Pay once and get a whole year of magazines sent to you directly on your email. You can also pay monthly and save 20% of every issue. There are no tie-ins or contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Thank you, Delicious Magazine and Kelly, for sponsoring today's episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. So, my friends, we have used many, or I have shown you how to use many methods or methods to keep your goals on track, to check if your goals are relevant. We have used the SMART method to see if the goals are doable, if they're relevant, if they're measurable, all of that. The HAM method. We have used a lot of methods, and we had the prioritization challenges, the prioritization episodes. I share with you the Eisenhower matrix, all of that. I've been talking about this all year. And yes, those are great. Those are great. And those are tools that are necessary to clear our head of what we want. But another thing that I learned this year with all of that is that when the tool starts to feel overwhelming, starts to feel as too much, it's time to take a step back and just rethink everything, and not rethink the goal, but take a step back and focus on the next step in front of you. Focus on the simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple as much as you can. um the tools are there. Another learn of this year with the goals, tools are there to be used, yes, but the method doesn't work for everyone. It's not cookie cutter. Everyone has a different way of seeing things and have a different way to get to their aha moment and have a different way um, to do things. So it's okay if what I share is not your cup of tea. Question it and try to find the thing that works for you, or let me help you try to find that thing that works for you, as long as it keeps you on track and as it keeps you moving forward in your business, if that's what you want. Again, I go back to the beginning of the episode. You can just wing it for the rest of your business life. It's up to you. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just a different way to do it. And there are consequences, there are pros and cons to it. You just have to live with them, and that's it. But if you want control, no, if you want to take control of where your business goes, I recommend setting goals and going with it 100%. Now, the method of how you use it or the method how you practice it, it doesn't have to be the same for everyone. It's not cookie cutter. Goals and to-do list. That's another thing that usually my groups and the people I work with question. I don't see the difference between a goal and a to-do list. I don't know how to differentiate my goals from my to-do list. Or I have a goal, but I have an endless to-do list. And it seems that I never get to my goal. Another thing I learned this year, the goal is the outcome, the final outcome, right? I want to, I don't know, I don't really know what I said at the beginning, but let's give you the example there that because last month was Cake International. So let's say your goal is to win a goal at Cake International. That is the outcome. The goal is to have that diploma or that ribbon or whatever it is that you're going to get or and see the goal in front of your piece. Good. Now, the to-do list are all the steps that are going to get you to that point. So, to-do list is not the same as a goal. And your to-do list is endless because we keep yours and mine, because I put myself into that. Everything I said in this episode, I say it because I have lived it and I have gone through it. I have to-do list that, or let's say, let me be honest. I started the year with endless to-do lists, so endless that I got so overwhelmed that I just stopped doing to-do lists. And I decided, you know what? I need a break. And then I realized one thing. Big to-do list is not helping. It's actually getting me more overwhelmed and it's not getting me closer to what I want. So, what is the idea here? Is to achieve whatever it is that I want, or is to focus on how to achieve it? Is to achieve it. So, if the method that you're using is your to-do list too overwhelming, then that it becomes a problem instead of something to help you. So, my takeaway from this year about to-do list, keep it short, keep it simple. Write it down on a separate piece of paper that is not your agenda, and write in your agenda only the things, your agenda, your calendar, whatever it is that you use, just the things that you know for sure that you can achieve that day. And the ones that you're not sure about, write it in pencil so you can erase it and put it to the next day. Because you won't feel looking at that. You won't feel like, oh, I haven't done anything. No, I can move it around. It's okay. I have the freedom to move it around. You have the freedom. I'm giving you the freedom. So that it's okay. Pivoting your goals. That's another thing that happened this year and another thing that people ask about. Like I started with this goal and it went totally different. Like it went a different way. I don't know why I got to this point, but I'm actually enjoying it. And I think this is where I'm meant to be. Yes, pivoting is good. Pivoting or changing your goals or adapting your goals to whatever situation you're in, it's okay. Goals are not set in stone. Goals are wishes that we decided to work on and to manage and to program. That's it. So, when I was a little, I wished to be an actress and win an Oscar, but that's not what I'm doing today, right? So, yeah, it's okay. It can change. And again, if you feel that by changing it, your life gets easier, your business actually moves forward and things get things start running at ease for you, then it's okay. Just change it. Just pivot it. Just, just acknowledge that it's okay to change your goals or to change the course in the middle of the year or in the middle of whatever you're doing, as long as the outcome is positive and it's what you want. Accountability is key. That's another thing that I learned this year. Accountability is key because when you're doing things by yourself, and I learned this in other aspects of my life that is not goal setting, but I realize how important it is. Another aspect of my life that is not goal setting, no, that is not my business, but I realize how important it is. Accountability, giving value, because I'm going to put this together. Giving value to the things that you're doing and accountability are key. Doing it by yourself is harder. Doing it by yourself is an excuse to failure. Sorry to say it, but yes. Um, Not having an accountability partner or a way to keep yourself accountable is a way to not facing the problem, and is actually damaging, is not helping. You cannot do it by yourself, or not by yourself. You cannot do it without any accountability involved, without either having somebody to hold you accountable or having a way to hold yourself accountable. And I keep saying it, and I have keep saying it during all this year. I'm here for you. I can be your accountability partner. All our groups and all our communities can be your accountability partner. We are here for you. So yeah, accountability. That's another important thing. Um, are we ready to set goals? Am I ready to set goals for next year? I think so, because I learned a lot this one. And I think I'm going to face them in a different way. I think I'm going to face my goals next year, which kind of are the same as the year before, but now I see it from a different perspective. I think with more maturity, I think with more ease, and I think with more responsibility. I think so. So don't go anywhere, because in the next part, we are going to talk about how facing 2026 with a purpose, and keep working in our goals to make them come true. The Art Cake Coach podcast welcomes the Sweet Chalet Shop as one of our sponsors. Located in Stamford, Florida, the Sweet Chalet Shop inspires creativity, talent, and passion for sugar art. The stores offer a space to learn, bake, and create sugar masterpieces. Since opening in 2015, it has brought the best products, techniques, and teachers to the community, offering classes and mentorship for all skill levels. It focuses on innovating, offering a wide range of edible products from colors to cake mixes, all allergen free and kosher. It is recognized as one of the best retail stores in the USA, and their commitment is to supporting and nurturing creativity. Visit the Sweet Chalet Shop, say hello to Marissa from me, and join the sweet journey. And if you visit online, don't forget to use the exclusive discount code Cake Coach 25. That is Cake Coach 25, created just for the listeners of this podcast, and have 20% off total discount of your purchase at the checkout. Thank you so much, Marissa, and thank you to the Sweet Chalet Shop for sponsoring the Art Cake Coach podcast. So, my sweet friends, today's episode has been a little bit of a confession time. It has been a little bit of me preaching. We had been having so many interviews episodes in the past month, which I really appreciate. That's one thing that pivot in the podcast. I never thought I was going to have back to back 2 months of guests and interviews, and it's been amazing. And I have a line up of so many cake artists and uh, relevant people of our industry who wants to come in the show, who wants to be interviewed. And honestly, I had to leave some of them, or most of them, that you're going to see next year. And I want to bring so many people up to different aspects of your cake business to talk about so many things. And so, yeah, that's one thing that changed for the Art Cake Coach podcast. Instead of being just a me podcast, it started to be more of an interview platform. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun, and it was one of the things that pivoted for good, for the best. So how are we going to face 2026, or how am I going to face 2026? Because today's episode is more from my point of view, and I think I'm going to share. I can share these things with you because it will resonate. So yeah, today's been an episode more of me just talking, but I miss doing one of this. 2026 is coming. How are we, how are you going to face it? Um, I will keep recommending setting goals, of course. but setting goals from a different perspective, from a different, from more open and relaxed point of view, for a more grounded point of view. And for that, I'm going to run 3-day free challenge on goal setting that is going to happen. And I'm going to tell you when it's going to happen. It's going to be in the first week of January. It's going to be on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of January. It's going to be online. And I will be leaving the links here on the episode so you can enroll on the wait list, or you can enroll, not, it's not really a wait list. You can enroll in the list to be part of this challenge. uh it's going to be, I have to say, it's going, I'm my goal, one of my biggest goals next year is to make things as simple as possible. uh it has been since the beginning my goal in the Art K Coach, but it got reinforced this year. It has to be simple, it has to be doable, it has to be relatable, and it has to be current. It cannot be, um, again, what everybody else is doing. It cannot be, big platforms and big invest. No, I mean, what I do, I'm your next door friend. I I do things like that. That's who I am, and that's how I'm gonna keep doing it. So the goal setting challenge is going to be as easy as it can be. Okay. It's going, of course, it's going to have some live classes, but if you're not going to be able to assist in the live classes, there will be, I mean, the video is going to be there. It's not like if you don't join us only on the 3 days, you're going to have replays. If not, now you're getting the replays, because what I want you is, I want you to have the chance to put this into practice. Um, Facing 2026, I think the word that I'm going to use this year is purpose. The word that I used last year was success and implementation. Implementation for sure, 100%. Success, 80% probably. I had a I had a motto, like a slogan for the year, a phrase, who was make bleep happen, make things happen, but with the other word. Uh, and I think I did it. I did make things happen, uh, but in a different way than I thought they were going to happen. But I made things happen. And so, if we're going to start the next year with our goal setting, or for me, it's going to be purpose. And that is what I want to give you. I want to give you purpose, because as long as we keep a compass, that we keep a rhythm, that we keep a purpose in mind, and maybe we should change the word goal for purpose setting instead of goal setting. When we keep a purpose, um, and we make it a habit, things get done and things get consistent, and without even thinking about it. So the challenge is coming soon. um, I want you to turn those wishes into goals so you can actually uh, have something to brag about at the end of next year. And my if I have to choose a word besides purpose, it's going to be simple, down to earth. That's what I want to bring for you next year. And that is my purpose for the Art K Coach and for this goal setting challenge. Again, it's going to be 3 days, 3 days of facing different aspects of the goal setting, of course, of setting your goals and setting a purpose for the year. And this is going to be the opening for more work that we're going to be doing together uh, to make those goals happen. So, like I said, the goal setting is going to be 3 days. The first day is going to go from dreams into goals with purpose. Make those goals achievable and being thankful. And of course, we're going to go through mindset again because it's super important. On day 2, we're going to be reviewing our goals. We're going to see what worked and what didn't work. and why they didn't work. And of course, we're going to be focusing everything in one bench, what I mentioned today, which was prioritizing, creating habits, and creating purpose. On day 3, we're going to use some of the methods that we used before to set our goals, but we're going to implement them in the easiest way possible, and we're going to plan to implement. And of course, there is going to be an open path for future working together. My method, as I promised, is going to be as simple as possible, is going to be as reachable as possible, is going to be as doable as possible. I just want to give you that gift in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of 2026, so you can set your goals with purpose, with confidence, and with ease, especially with ease. That's my goal for next year. And in other news, what I have for you is I've been updating, sorry, many of the free resources on Cake on the Art Cake Coach website. So go check out my free resources because I have updated so far 3 of them. I have a new business plan template. I have a new and updated client profile and pitch. When we talk about your business pitch, about talking about your business and defining your business. All of that is updated and it's looking really cool. So I really want you to go and check it out. Those are in my free resources and you can download it anytime from my website, thearcadecoach.com, and that can help you also with your goal setting. My friends, if you wish your business to move forward and not leave things to chance, if you want to take ownership of the decisions that you make for your business and really say, I got to this point or I did this because I planned to it. I wanted to get it there. I wanted to achieve this. That is what goal setting is all about. And that is, if you that's what you want, that is what I want to help you with. So my sweet friends, stay tuned. Go to the show notes for all the links on the goal setting challenge for January 2026. And remember, I'm here to help you in any way that I can. Meanwhile, my friends, keep listening to the podcast. Go check out my free resources. And as always, I say goodbye as I say goodbye. Stay safe, stay creative, and I'll see you next week. Hey, cake friend, before you go, if you've been enjoying this episode and you are ready to take your cake business to the next level, I would love to invite you to join the Art Cake Coach Podcast Club on Spotify. Inside, you'll get access to over 17 exclusive audio classes and time management, goal setting, money mindset, and more. Everything you need to feel organized, confident, and balanced in your cake journey. And you will get one more extra class each month. You can unlock it right here on Spotify. Just tap on the link in the description of this episode.